I think I can show you guys better than I can tell you. Just pay attention to my super bar in this build, okay? Just pay attention to my super bar, okay? Just pay attention how quick it's going. From just killing this small amount of enemies. Excuse me? What type of melee whip? And boom, I already got my super back. And you see I keep making an orb every melee I do. And there's a reason for that. Freaking insane build. And of course, if you're a Monte Carlo lover like me, it works with Monte Carlo as well. Probably even a little bit more lethal. If I throw this shield, activate Monte Carlo, stab, shield, Monte Carlo, stab, shield, Monte Carlo, stab. Right? Just make sure you're always picking up the orb off the ground after you use it. Stab, and we already got our super back, and there's still enemies left, as you can see. So it works with Monte Carlo very well as well, and Monte Carlo just do dumb damage. So what's going on in this build? What up, guys? Alchemist here. I got something nice for you. So today's build, we are using Void Titan. That I ain't gonna lie, probably my funnest build I have played on Titan so far. I know it's probably like only 3 Void Titan mains out there right now. I know, but hey, I love it. I love it. I love the gameplay style of Void Titan. So the exotic we're using today is Doomfang Paldron. Yeah, Doomfang we're using today. And the exotic perk for Doomfang is Horns of Doom. Defeating targets with void damage has a chance to grant escalating bonus to damage with void weapons. So if you see, if I get a void ability kill while I have a void weapon out, because they ain't gonna tell you if you get it without a void weapon out, right? Pull a void weapon out. I got ×4 void surge for my void weapon, and it's indefinite too. So basically your void weapon is always gonna have 25% extra damage, okay? So that's the good thing about that, using void weapons in this build. Then it says defeating targets with your void melee grants super energy. You get 20% super energy from using your power melee, which is the shield throw, in this build. So that's where we get a chunk of energy from just that alone, and we got other things stacking in the build for the extra super energy as well. And then it also says that our Sentinel Super stay on longer whenever we throw a shield throw inside Sentinel Super, and you get 2 shields in the Sentinel Super as well. So if I throw on the Sentinel Shield Super, which is going to be the super using this build, if I transform, let my super drain some, right? If I throw a shield with the grenade button, you see my super goes back up, and I can throw some more and keep it staying on indefinitely for a very long time. And melee kills, the regular melee kill gives you grenade energy to throw the shield even more often. So you can stay inside the super for a very long time as long as there's enemies to throw your shield at, you know, with this. The super is definitely an ad control super. You can use it to whittle down bosses in the portal and stuff, but definitely for ad control, and you definitely will be cleaning the ads up with that super on. Very good, okay? We're rocking Monte Carlo on this build, as y'all seen, so we get our shield back more often, so that we can keep throwing the shield to get that 20% super energy in this kit, so that we can get our super back literally in like 10 seconds. Like it's actually kind of ridiculous. I was spamming my super in this build non-stop with this, and it works for both bubble and Sentinel shield. So if you want to be a person that just spam bubbles all day, you can do that. If you want to be a person doing the Sentinel shield super, you can do that. Just know with the bubble, you're gonna have 1 bubble out, so just know you won't have like 3-4 bubbles out there, even though you would hope so, right? You only get 1 bubble out, okay? Now, make sure I tell you this: if you are using Monte Carlo in this build, there's a bug. There's a bug with this. If I get a melee kill right now and activate the bayonet form of Monte Carlo, if I pop my super with Monte Carlo out with this bayonet, the game bugs out and you can't do your melee attacks at all in your super until you stab an enemy with the sword. Well, with the bayonet of Monte Carlo. Weird bug, but yeah, I guess spread that word around to Bungie if that's a big issue to you guys. But yeah, that's a weird bug, so be careful with that. But of course, if you don't know, Monte Carlo, you get 2% melee energy from shooting it at enemies per bullet, or every time you get a kill, there's a lucky chance that you get your full melee back with Monte Carlo. Or if you got the catalyst done, when you use the bayonet form, after you get a melee kill, times 5 stacks of Monte Carlo's chain. You can hold the reload button to use the bayonet. The bayonet does dumb damage. It does stacks with the melee stat and any like melee buff, like combination blow, for example. Stylish executioner, it does buff up the damage of the bayonet because it's an uncharged melee. And if you stab an enemy with the bayonet form, you automatically get 50% fixed melee energy back. So really good for this build, where you get that shield throw back immediately, so you get that 20% with the melee throw. We're rocking Lotus Eater in this build with Repulsor Brace and Destabilize Round. It don't gotta be Lotus Eater. It can be any Void weapon with Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds. Very important in this build. You're rocking Void Titan, and they strive off of Void Overshields, and they strive off of Volatile Rounds. So any weapon that got Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Round, you can use in this build. Even a shotgun if you want. And then I'm using a crossbow just to utilize the artifact, but so we can deal with all champions. But if you got the stasis crossbow, I know it's a rare drop. If you got the stasis crossbow, it's perfect for this build because you can get frost armor in the build to increase your damage. But you don't really need it because you're gonna have Void Overshield up. So yeah, and the super don't get buffed up by Shield Crush at all. So your heavy slot is whatever you want it to be. Personally, your heavy slot be whatever you want it to be. But if you want that extra DR frost armor on top of the Void Overshield, then use the stasis crossbow or a stasis heavy. Okay. Artifact. The only thing that's important in the artifact in this build, again, you don't have to worry about the crossbow stuff if you're not going to use the crossbow. The main important thing you want in this build is Refresh Threads and Elemental Coalescence and Shield Crush. Shield Crush because increase our melee damage. Cause we got a Void Overshield on, non-stopping the build, and make our shield come back even quicker. So very important. And then Refresh Threads and Elemental Coalescence. So whenever I pick up a Void Breach, I literally get a chunk of my shield back. Okay. Now, subclass. Sentinel Shield, of course, but you can't run Bubble. You definitely can run Bubble as well. You can even run Twilight Arsenal, because Twilight Arsenal, you'll still get that. You'll still end up getting that super gain with Twilight Arsenal. So if you want to run Twilight Arsenal, then by all means, you definitely can. If I throw these axes over here, right? If I throw them axes over there and then I do a Sentinel shield throw, you still gonna get that extra energy. So you don't have to run the Sentinel roaming super if you don't want to. You can definitely run Twilight Oath, Twilight Arsenal, I mean, and do some dumb damage, okay? All up to you. That's what I think I love about this build, because it's just very, very versatile. You choose whatever super you want to spam. So, hey, dealer's choice. I know a lot of you guys are going to just choose Twilight Arsenal because it's super strong. I get it. I get it. But I have fun using Sentinel Shield. I have fun, you know? And does Zodi make it stay on longer? I have fun using Sentinel Shield, as you see in the gameplay in the top right. Yeah, you choose whatever super you want. Just know the axes that you use from Twilight Arsenal, they do not count as melee kills when you pick them up and start slashing. So just keep that in mind. That don't count. So okay, don't think it do. Okay, don't think it do. I got Ride Barricade on, Thrash Lift, Shield Throw, of course, to get that extra super energy with the Exotic. Your grenade can be whatever you want. I just choose Vortex, but you can definitely put on like Suppressor, whatever grenade you want to have on. We got Offensive Bulwark on. This is very important for the build. Very important. Offensive Bulwark makes it that while you have an Overshield or are inside Ward of Dying, your grenade charges significantly faster. You have increased melee range and damage. The increased damage I throw on the screen. Melee final blows restore a small portion of your overshield in extended duration. This is how we keep an overshield on 24/7. Okay, this any melee blows too. This includes Monte Carlo as well, right? The second part says you gain additional shield throw while in Sentinel Shield. Okay, so that's how you get the 2 shields for Sentinel as well. Okay. The main thing this thing does not tell you, that's very important, is while you have a Void Overshield, all your melees become power melees. all your melees become void powered melees, okay? So if I get an overshield throwing a shield, right? If I do a melee with Monte Carlo, it'll extend the overshield and everything, okay? But it's not becoming void, just letting y'all know that. It's not becoming a power melee. As you see, I'm stabbing enemies, or power is not being made from my armor mod. But if I go over here and punch these enemies regular while I have a void overshield on, it's considered a power melee. So every melee I do, I'm making an orb because I get the artifact, the armor mods in my arm piece where melee kills make orbs of power for you. So as long as you have a void overshield on, your regular melees will get buffed up and be treated as void power melees. The aspect don't tell you that, which is very important. So you literally just run around making infinite orbs nonstop from every enemy that you punch and kill with this build. So not only would it give you your single shield back quick in case you don't want to use Monte Carlo in your build, don't worry, you can just run the melee enemies, and the melee damage is very strong because of the aspect. You can just melee punch enemies non-stop, keep your void overshield and do dumb damage. So yeah, I don't know why the game don't tell you that, but yeah, so this aspect is goated, okay? And then the second aspect we're running is controlled demolition. We're basically hitting a target with a void ability or volatile explosion makes them volatile. Again, our unpowered melees become power melees now, void power melees. So now all our punches will be doing volatile as well with the people you punch. Further damage a volatile target causes them to explode, which we already know that's what volatile is. Grant you and nearby allies health when volatile targets explode near you. So while you punch people, while they're blowing up from the volatile explosion from you punching them with your regular melee with a void overshield on, you're gonna be getting chunks of health back from people being volatile blowing up. But that also stacks with the destabilizing rounds in your void weapon. So now any enemy that blows up with volatile explosions, you get health back and you give health to your teammates. So great for survivability, for shooting the enemy non-stop. Even if the enemy don't die, as long as you spread volatile to them, you can keep doing it over and over again without dying. Fragments we got on. Defeating volatile targets creates a void breach. So yeah, we're gonna be doing volatile non-stop. So that's why we got this on. And then of course your finisher moves spread volatile to enemies around that person you finish a move. Again, volatile explosions heal us, so survivability, right? We got Echo Reprisal on. So as long as we get final blows, surrounded by combatants, aka 15 meters of 3 enemies, you get bonus super energy, which is super simple because we're gonna be punching everybody. We got Echo Persistence on. This to make our void buff stay on longer. So this makes the void overshield stay on longer, and this make Devour stay on longer. And then of course we got Echo Starvation on. Picking up a void breach or aura power give us Devour. So now every kill we get a void overshield, which is 70% damage reduction and extra health. So every kill we get, melee kill we get, we're getting a void overshield. We're gonna have Devour on non-stop. So every time we get a kill, we'll get our full health, well not full health back, but a chunk of health back. And then anybody that's volatile, we get chunks of health back from them exploding. So yeah, survivability is to the roof in this build. That's why I was able to take this in -40 with ease. Stats you want to go for 200 super. I went 180 and just did a super find on my helmet. 200 super, and then you want to pour the rest in your melee stat. If you get above 100 in your melee stat, then obviously your melee do more damage. And yeah, the other day I had a bug going on. While my melee stat was above 100, my super was doing less damage. I don't know what was going on. Today it don't seem like it's happening, so yeah, just pay attention if it's happening to you. The game's in a buggy state, as we know. But yeah, 200 super, and then pour the rest into your melee stat and try to get above 100. And -40, as long as I have a void overshield on, my melee is still one-shotting these red names and stuff because of the aspect making our melee damage go up more. But if you need some more oomph, then by all means, above 100 melee stat. Other than that, everything else is free reign to whatever you want it to be. Okay. If you're seeing all these zeros, I don't have the best armor on my Titan. Y'all know I started these are new characters. I don't have the armor farmed yet for my Titan, so that's why you see some zeros here, because I'm not masterworking this armor because it's not the best armor I can get right now, because I can get tier 5 armor for my Titan. Okay, now armor mods. We got super fine for that +20, so I'm at 200 super. We got hands on, since we will be getting melee kills. Hands-on only work for power melee kills, if I remember correctly. But all our melees are power melee kills because of our aspect. All our melees are void powered melees. So we're getting chunks of super energy from not only the shield throws, but also our regular melees with hands-on. So we get our super back even quicker. Then we got Harmonic Siphon on, so we get kills with Lotus Eater, we make Aura Power out there. We got 3 heavy-handed on, so no matter what melee kills I get, whether it's the shield or my regular melees, while I got Void Over Shield on, I make Aura Power non-stop. I can pick those up, get my super back even quicker. We got all 3 resist mods on our chest piece. Lead piece we got better already on. We are getting chunks of health back, so we just needed something to make it that our health star regenerate whenever we pick up Aura Power, since we got 0 health stat in this build. So this helping that our health regen start immediately pick up Aura Power. We got on Invigoration, so whenever we pick up an Aura Power, we get melee energy back. And then we got on Auras of Restoration, so that we can get more melee energy, because we won't really be using our grenade in this build, and we won't be using our barricade really in this build. So this makes it that whenever I pick up Aura Power, I get double the melee energy I would be getting from picking up Aura Power. So highly amazing. Instead of getting diminishing returns from having 2 Invigoration Zone, you want to have on Auras of Restoration to get even more get back. Stack that with the Void Breaches from the artifact with Refresh Thread Zone, and we get basically like half our freaking melee back from just picking up Orb and Void Breaches together. It's insane. Class item, we got 2 Time Dilation Zones, so I have more uptime on me having Super Font on non-stop. And then we got Outreach on, so whenever I do use my barricade, I'll just get some melee energy back when I do that. You can't take out 1 Time Dilation and put on like Special Finisher if you think you need it. But yeah, if you made it this far in the video, I got a special treat for you guys. There's 2 builds in this video. 2 builds, yep. For the loyal watchers that watch them from beginning to end, you get an extra build that's more broken. If you clicked off because you seen Void, say la vie. Alright, so Prismatic. I know some of you guys don't like being on Void. You can use this build on Prismatic. Same mods and everything. Only thing I changed is I put 2 hands-on instead of a super font, because I put on a fragment inside Prismatic to get my super to 190. Okay, in this build you can spam Thunder Crash all day. You can pick any super you want, Stasis Super, Solar Super, Strand Super. You can pick whatever super you want, because this build is for spamming supers, because you do have the Sentinel Shield melee in Prismatic. All you would do is put on Knockout. It gives you the same melee buff when it's active. Instead of having a Void Overshield on, it's just on from you getting melee kills and damaging enemies and stuff, right? So now in this kit, you will be getting Amplified and a Void Overshield from Sentinel Throw. And then your other aspect can be whatever you want. You can pick Diamond Lance. You want to spawn Diamond Lances from melee attack, whatever. The second aspect can be whatever you want, okay? Only fragments you want was Protection, Purpose, Hope, Balance, so you get your melee energy from getting light kills, aka your Sentinel Shield and your regular melees, and Fast Adjustment Zone for that +10 super stat. If you got your super at 200, you do not need this. Knockout works just like Offensive Bulwark that the game does not tell you. While you have Knockout on, all your melees are arc. All your regular melees become power melees, and they become arc damage instead of void, like in the void build. So let me Thunder Crash over here to showcase to you guys. Right. So throw the shield. We got Knockout on, and now anybody I punch, I'm getting Aura Power. Right? Just like that, easily. Throw my shield again. And this literally lets you spam Thunder Crash non-stop. And we already got our super. So if you want to be someone that gets your Thunder Crash every 10 seconds, here you go. This was a secret. This is for the loyal watchers. And if you're wondering how is this possible, hands-on in the helmet only works off of power melee kills. And since Knockout and Offensive Bulwark make it that all your regular melees are power melee kills, you get a bonus super energy for each melee you do. And then of course we got the 3 heavy-handed on. Every power melee make an orb, as y'all see. And then our lead piece, making that whenever we pick up an orb power, we get melee energy back. And then Auras Restoration, our least charge ability to get energy. So they double stack on each other, giving us energy for our melee to come back even quicker. And then of course we're making ion traces as well because of the artifact perk where elemental coalesce and defeating target has a chance to make elemental pickup. We got an arc super on, so ion trace gives us bonus energy, and then refresh threads gives us more energy from that as well. You also can put on I believe is awakening. Rapidly defeating target with light or darkness damage or super final blow generate element pickup of your matching damage type. Yes, you can take off facet of justice and put on awakening, and this will make more ion traces spawn, and this will allow you to spam thunder crashes. But that's for the people that stay to the very end. You're welcome. That's the build. Very fun build. You use whatever super you want. Like I said, this is a super spam build. Go crazy. Okay? Go crazy with this build. I had a ball. I know people don't like Void like that, but I ain't gonna lie. After making this build, Void has to be one of my favorite builds for Titans. I know we got some more busted builds to do in the future that y'all probably seen before, but I'll put my own twist to them. But I want to give y'all some builds that y'all never seen before. And this build right here, with the new stat changes in Edge of Fate and stuff, with the super stat being able to get super back quick and stuff, and super do more damage, this build is slept on for Titans, and I highly recommend it. Anyway, love you guys, appreciate you guys always, and until next time, stay up.